Wait, hello?
Well,
is this on?
thank you so much for coming out in the rain and the humidity. I actually straightened my hair today. That's
Wait, we're on like a little teeny stage that's raised up. This is so
but like
cute.
with huge, like with these like we should be in a British club. You know what I mean? Like
no one's living in the moment with their phones up, guys. So think about it.
So, this is what we're here to talk about today. Color This Book, New York City, by Abbi Jacobson. And Abbi, you actually did this prior to the Comedy Central, or what? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I did this about 20 years ago. No, I did it in 2013.
So you had already been doing the webisodes.
We were writing the pilot for the show, and I just got an agent. Woo! And I had always wanted to do this, a coloring book. And
why? Why had you always wanted to do a coloring book? Well, you know what, let me just start. Hold on. So you were a fine arts major in college, correct?
Uh-huh.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school. Wait, I should say thank you for coming too. Are you guys all soaking wet? All right, I owe you one. Yeah, so I went to a school called MICA. One person has heard of it. Yeah, Maryland Institute College of Art, which is in Baltimore. Yeah, and I minored in general fine arts, or I majored in general fine arts, minored in video. But yeah, I wanted to be a visual artist. My family, I come from a long line of visual artists. So. And
when you say visual artist, specifically what? A painter, graphic, what?
I mostly did these maps, these like aerial maps of places I've lived and been that were very abstract, but
three-dimensional, one-dimensional.
No, they were almost just like a map, but it would be like I called them memory maps. So they were from memory of places, and yeah, I would do drawings and paintings, and then I did this video stuff that sort of led to more of what I do now. Yeah, but growing up, I was always like drawing. My parents always bought me coloring supplies, or not coloring supplies,
crayons it's called.
Crayons.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Were you an in the line crayon drawer?
Yes.
Or out the line?
In the line.
Me too. I was
very
like obsessive in the line.
Oh,
yeah.
All my stuff is like paint by number, basically, without the number. But yeah, they were always buying us art supplies. I have an older brother who's a graphic designer, and so that was something we always did. I was just always drawing, and then when I got this agent, I was like, I'm going to monopolize on this and make a, high-paced coloring book in the fast lane,
Yeah.
And then
Did you do San Francisco first or New York first?
I did them at the same time, and I actually pitched with New York, Philly, New Orleans, and LA.
Right. And you're from Philly.
I'm from Philly. Woo! Yeah! And ended up doing San Francisco because Chronicle, who's the publisher, and they're great, they're in San Francisco, and they're like, well, why don't we start with New York and San Francisco? And so my best friend and I, whose name is Bevers, a beautiful blonde girl. She came to San Francisco with me, and I used it as an opportunity to be like, I'd been to San Francisco before, but we toured around. I took photos of everything, and that's how I did that one. But the New York one, I kind of knew where I wanted to, where my spots were going to be.
And that was, how did you choose your spots?
Basically, the New York, both of them are a mix of my favorite places and then bigger touristy places that they wanted to include. They thought. So they would give you a list? like the Guggenheim.
Right,
for
because it's
example.
architecturally interesting.
Wonderful museum.
Right.
I have nothing bad to say about it, but might have been suggested.
Right, okay. Whereas McDougal Street, you lived there.
Yeah, there's like 5 places on McDougal Street in the coloring book. I live when I drew this.
Well, you draw what you know. That's
Yeah.
what they say.
Yeah, I drew this. I lived on McDougal when I drew this book. I lived like right across from the Comedy Cellar. Yeah? Wow. We might be in like
very
a sliding doors
strange
in here. And so, yeah, that was fun. I drew like Mamoons and Cafe Reggio and Artichoke, like all those places.
Now,
my regular haunts.
Here's my question. So you draw Grand Central, which, as we know, is an absolutely stunning place. Why did you choose to draw it empty?
Yeah.
Sans
I know.
people. Whereas then you draw Times Square, and it's full of people. So I'm just curious what the thought process was there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to bring up. I did it, so the actual drawings are a little bit bigger than the book. So I kind of did it to scale, and then they made it a little bit smaller. And I don't know, when I was doing Grand Central, I felt like it was the space is actually so big that the people would be so small that it just wouldn't be fun to color. And the Times Square, I just sort of went crazy.
Jam-packing.
Yeah. And actually, there's a teeny little thing in Times Square. Do you guys have the book? If you'll turn to the Times Square.
Yeah.
So I did this, and we were writing the pilot, and I think actually, so when we originally wrote the pilot with FX, and they passed on us, their loss. Sorry,
fuck them.
And but there was like a year where we didn't know what was going to happen, and I put
Broad City,
and me and Alana are back in the back.
Can't really tell that's you, but I could tell.
I know.
You know.
But Broad City is an ad in Times Square.
Right.
I was like,
right. And there's
why
a
not,
lot
right?
of people here. So it's a different energy. Do you draw from photographs or just from memory?
A little bit of both. I think I took photos of most of the places and then drew, a little bit of both, because like I made up, all the ads in there are like made up.
Right.
And the people, I like drawing like what people are wearing.
But like the Guggenheim, you took a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know
No
that.
offense. This is like a hate. This is like Guggenheim's going to be like, Mr. Guggenheim's going to be like, why were you talking shit about my museum?
He's dead. He's dead.
All right. He's got some.
And why the Booth Theater? Was it just a Broadway? You wanted to do Broadway?
Another sort of like, I
kind
think
of
you can kind of look
suggestion.
through and be like, oh, some you should be more touristy. Oh, so this is one that is, I worked, this is the City Bakery,
which I love.
and I worked for them. Have you guys ever been to Bird Bath? Yeah. I worked at one for a long time.
And Katz's Deli.
Yeah, Katz's Deli was
It's iconic.
That wasn't even, I was just like, I should do this. This is like, the Katz's Deli one, I sort of went a different route and wanted to do that aerial table
Now,
view.
I'm going to say the bull was suggested, the Wall Street Bull.
No, I have a personal relationship with, obviously suggested.
Okay.
I like the only time I've ever been there was to take a photo of it.
Do you know that I once rang the opening bell?
You did?
Yeah.
Was it a good day on the market?
I don't know. Now, UCB, obviously, that's where you got started.
That was a suggestion.
It was a suggestion.
No.
Okay. See, you're shocking me now.
Yeah, UCB I had to include. I don't even know. Yeah, they kind of trusted me. So when I pitched it, I actually pitched another coloring book idea that I'm not going to say because I might still want to do it.
Might still do it. Okay.
But when I pitched this is my second idea. I pitched it as, it's like a sites from these cities, but also it's kind of like a little bit of a guidebook,
right?
In a different way. Where I pitched it, I was like, well, moms and dads that are on vacation or that are on business trips could like bring these back. And buy them for their kids.
For their kids.
Yeah,
actually, you could actually take this book and just follow this book and go to each one of these places or things, and you've had a New York experience that's very unique and individual.
Exactly. Like, or if people come on a family, there's lots of families out here, right? If people come here on a family vacation, and it's like a cool thing when they go home, they're like, Jimmy, remember the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yeah, and then
We can color
paint
it in
it, but in
together.
the lines.
In
Paint
the
it
lines. Don't fucking go outside the lines,
No.
Jimmy. God damn it,
It used
Jimmy.
it used to kill my sister how good I was in the lines. Okay, so now what do you suggest in terms of coloring? What can you use? Because
Very personal.
This is not a great crayon, I don't think, because it's very small.
No.
The stuff, it's very small.
Yeah,
and
so I personally color in general, not in these books, with marker.
Mm-hmm.
But I suggest colored pencil.
Because marker's going to go through to the other page.
Yeah, colored pencil, faux show. Sharp. I have a sharpener next to you. Yeah, because it's very
Can I
delicate.
suggest for the second edition?
Yeah.
Thicker paper.
I know. Well, I think every single person that's bought the book is in this room right now. So I don't know. I don't know if they can make it with thicker paper. Maybe.
All right, let's talk. Do we have anything else to say about this? Because I wanted to move on. And no, it's fantastic. I love it. Abbi, the first time I met Abbi, she gave me this as a gift.
We took Susie out to seduce her. We took her out to dinner.
This is what she seduced me with.
And I said, I have
a
a
coloring book. No, I loved it.
No, but I told you earlier, I've never brought it out and given it to anyone. And then when we met, I was like, Susie Essman, so New York. I gotta give her my book.
No, and I loved it. It was sitting on my coffee table for a while. Then I moved, and then I packed it, and then I unpacked, and it's back now because I took it out.
All right.
So it's back. But I want to get a second one.
I think
because
we can make it happen.
I think what's
here.
good to have is to have two, one colored, one uncolored. So you just have,
very much.
You just have
Only you would want that.
And do you do this? Is this pen and ink? Is this how you do it?
Yeah, I do it with a pen.
A pen? Like what kind of pen?
I'm a big pen head. I really like Prismacolor, fine tips.
Mm-hmm.
I like some microns. Any pen heads in the audience? Yeah, couple, cool. Yeah, I'm a big pen person. I buy pens all.
Yeah,
There's
I
a new
love
one
pens
called
also.
Faber. Yeah.
That's
some
not
Stabler.
new. That's not new. That's really
A
old.
new one in my world.
God, I had that in college back in the Paleolithic era. Okay, so
Classic.
now I don't want to disappoint anybody that we're going to not talk about the book as much now as we're going to talk about Broad City. So, I mean,
You're like, fuck the book?
no, the book is great. I think the book is adorable, and I love the way you draw, not color. Is that insulting to say to an artist, color?
No, I will say, like, this is like did anyone go to art school? Okay. So you understand that, like, this isn't what I did in art school. But in art school, I had a studio space, and I did these big drawings, and I did these big paintings, and it was more heady, and I was, like, questioning and, like, observing. And then I moved to New York, and I had, like, a desk, and so I started illustrating. I think that's how illustrators happen. But, yeah, so I changed it up, but it's not insulting.
Okay, just want to make sure. So here's my question. All right, so now you are writing season 3.
Uh-huh.
So does it become more difficult to come up with scenarios? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
We're actually in the last week of writing right now.
Okay. What do you do, 10 or 13?
Episodes or weeks?
Episodes.
10.
10 episodes.
10
okay.
episodes in like 12 weeks.
Right.
And
wow.
Yeah,
we used to do 10 episodes in 5.5 months on Curb.
For writing?
For shooting.
Oh, for shooting? Well, we shoot in like 2 months, 40 days.
Yeah. That's fast.
Yeah, 40 days in the desert, wandering the desert.
Yeah.
It's very,
Yeah, I know. So you're coming up with 10 new. So you already have 20. Now, out of the first 20, how many webisodes did you have?
We had 34 and like a short film.
Okay, so the 34, those were each, what, 3-5 minutes each?
Yeah.
Okay. But there were kernels there that you then translated into episodes, correct?
Yeah, we tried not to repeat anything exactly. We kind of tried to do like a second beat of something. So that we did a whole mini web series that was called Hack into Broad City that we now do sort of in between seasons. But it was just sort of that device of the video chat, and we do it on the show too. But I don't know if any of the jokes are exactly the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're now coming up with 10 new episodes, tell me the process of that.
Well, okay. Yeah, so we have a very small writer's room. They're all our very close friends, and this season was the hardest for sure because the last season we had a day in between finishing editing and starting writing, with one day off where I think I like dropped my laundry off.
Right.
I dropped my laundry off. And so there was no time to process. There was like the show was airing for the first time, so we were like just like, what the fuck? We have a TV show on the air while we're writing the second season. We're still very new at this, and this season we had time to process.
Right.
And
also the difference also was you did really well the first season, but second season was way bigger in terms of success and viewership and numbers. So the pressure's different.
Yeah, that was the big thing. It was like processing the pressure of like, how do we do this again? Is this a fluke that we can do this?
And you don't want to repeat yourself.
Yeah, we have to we don't want to repeat ourselves. And a lot of, I don't know, I hope this happens in any sort of comedy writer's room where we're pitching and it's like, no, that was on Curb.
Yeah.
No, that was on Seinfeld, which is Curb.
Larry covered everything.
Yeah, it's like that. Exactly. It's like Larry David did this already. It's usually Curb or Sex and the City. And so you don't want to repeat anything from your own show or that's already out there. And if you do, you got to do it in a new way. And it's about maintaining this dynamic that we've established while building the world in new ways. And I think our main thing is just getting to the point where we find it hilarious.
Right.
And then we're like, okay, when we're all laughing at something, that's where you sort of go with it. Like I come out of UCB and Upright Citizens Brigade, and one of their rules is like follow the fun. And so that's sort of the thing where it's like a lot of the days in the writer's room can get very difficult where we're like, we suck at this. Like, why are people letting us do this? And then we'll come up with something, and then it's like, okay, we'll go with that.
Right.
Yeah. But we hand in the last episode. Well, I'm here with you guys. I had to leave early, and the writers were supposed to come, and they're handing it in probably right now.
How many hours a day do you work on writing?
We start at 11. Or like the writers come in at 11.
How many writers? Generally.
We have, there's like 6 total, right? No, there's 8.
She's not good at math.
Well, I'm not. There's 8 total, but
including you and Alana.
Yeah, but the majority of people are sort of like not in the room all the time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like?
We outsource to abroad.
Right. So like you'll do some beats, send it to India.
Yes.
Have somebody there.
Yeah. It's what's happening in all industry.
Exactly.
We're just trying to keep up, you know. We wrote 5. We usually write half. And then our other main core writing team is Paul W. Downs and Lucia Agnello, who Paul is Trey on the show, and Lucia is our main director. So they're our main team, and they're in the room with us all the time. You guys got to know who they are. You got to know who they are. Yeah.
And Lucia actually directed the episode that I was in.
Yeah.
Yes. So, all right. So, and when you start shooting, so all the scripts are completely finished once you start shooting?
Yeah. So they're all, like, we write them. We have a table read, then we get notes, and then we rewrite them. So right now we're reworking every script, all 10. And then they're going to be sent out to, we have a little group of punch-up writers. So there are other comedians that we, like from UCB, or like mostly UCB, but in a week we'll have this punch-up room, and everyone adds like some joke punches and like different flavors and stuff. And then Alana and I take all of the scripts back and pick the punch-ups and rework them and cut scenes, and we have to look at, well, we can't shoot in 20 locations, so we all have to cut the...
Right, there's budgetary
We'll have to cut the scene at the Starbucks.
Right.
Because Starbucks will never let us shoot there anyway.
Yeah.
Why do we keep writing Starbucks scenes? And all that stuff. And then we take out a lot of fucks and shits, because...
Then I come on and add them back in.
Yeah, we leave a certain number for Susie to say. And yeah, so all that happens in the month of July.
Right.
That's prep, and we pick what we wear in every episode. We have all those meetings with wardrobe and props, and we have a location scout who we describe basically every location, and he goes and finds them, and then we go on a scout and we look at them, and then we cast everybody, and then we start in August.
And then, so that once you're shooting, you're not thinking about any of that. That's all pre-done, more or less.
We have a month of prep, and so we shoot in blocks. So we'll shoot 4 episodes, and then we'll have a week or like 4 days of prep again, and then 3, and then 2.
It's a crazy schedule.
And then 1. Yeah, and so in the middle, there's like a couple days where we do a couple... You know, you do like, you have a new director.
Right.
So the new director comes in, and then we'll do casting again and all those things again.
And how much input does the network have? Does the network have to give you notes and things like that?
The network, there's they give us notes all along for scripts, and then when we edit, they give us notes. And then they have input when we're casting a big character. So like Comedy Central really didn't want Susie to be Alana's mom.
They never want me.
They did. Of course, they were like, fuck yes.
Yeah, now. You should have seen years ago.
I can't imagine.
It's the truth.
No, they were like, I think they were like everyone else when we were like Susie. They were like, there's no one else.
I am the perfect casting for Alana's mother.
You know it.
I know.
When you saw it, were you like, yes, right?
Yes, I am.
So we're trying to cast
your mother.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. You don't meet everybody in my life, but we are like, who the fuck? After that, it's like, who the fuck are my parents? Maybe we just straighten your hair.
I have some ideas. But we'll talk later.
Okay, we'll talk later.
All right, so we're going to do Q&A now. Don't be
Guys,
shy.
don't be shy, but don't be inappropriate.
I'm going to bring you a mic.
Yes, you.
I'm going to bring you a mic. Hold on just a moment.
You know what? If they talk
Are you guys
really
okay
loud,
like that?
though, it's good because you're not going to get the mic to everybody.
Okay. Do you know who you want to guest star as people, or do you have a rotation of people that you have to get in?
There's no one we have to get in, but there's like the
Seth Rogen character,
Yeah.
for example. That's was that written for him, or was that written and then you thought, boom, Seth? Like I know my part was written for me.
Yes, because we had met with you before.
Exactly. But was that character written for him, or was he thought of after you had the character?
So with Seth, I think he was thought of afterwards. Well, it's hard because someone like that to write, he was in one episode, and like someone like you, it's a much more thoughtful, you're a recurring character.
Right.
So, when we wrote that first episode, we were like, I don't think we're going to be able to we also hadn't gotten, the first season doesn't have, Seth Rogen.
Cachet.
Yeah.
The first season, when you're casting on a show, like Broad City, they have no cachet the first season. It's just some Comedy Central show, these two girls, and somebody could, but then after it's a hit, then every Seth Rogen wants to be on it.
And we did have amazing people, but it was much more like in the family. It was much more like comedy people.
Right.
And so, not that Seth isn't, but he's like,
he's a star.
Yeah.
He's a movie star.
And so once we knew he was into it, then we reworked the character.
Beefed it up a little bit.
But there were people like Amy Ryan. We knew we wanted on the show. We didn't know what part, because we're such huge fans of Amy's, but her husband is also a producer on our show, and we were like, we need Amy. Her husband is the bartender in that episode too.
I didn't know that.
Who was like a dick to me with the job. Yeah. Sloven.
I have 2 questions.
No, only one.
Whatever one you want, because one's safe for work and one's not safe for work.
Okay.
One is, why a coloring book and not a picture book? And the other question is, who came up with and thought it was like the best idea ever to do the Peg episode?
Okay, so in the back, why a coloring book, not a picture book? We'll ignore that one. And who came up with the idea to do the pegging episode?
I honestly don't know. It was something we knew that we wanted. I'm just gonna say and speak in the third person because I like to separate myself from my character. I'm Abby. We knew we wanted Abby to finally hook up with Jeremy, because we had been showing this pining forever, and it's like, why save this?
Yeah.
And so we knew they were gonna get together, and then it came up in the room. And then once it came up, we were just all like, yeah. But it was very delicate, because that was not ever, no one ever pitched it as like, it's a joke that he's into pegging. Like, that was never, we were very careful. We never wanted that to be misconstrued as like that preference is like
on it.
Yeah. It was more like, in the aftermath, he's so particular about his thing.
About his dildo.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck, dude?
So it became more about his kind of elitism about his dildo.
Yeah.
Than him wanting to have it up his ass.
Exactly.
Yes, I get it. Very
that
smart.
That is like,
very smart.
I mean, that episode is. I think that episode's the best episode we've ever done. It's your episode.
In the back, anybody? All the way back there. Yes. No, all the way back. I can't even see your face.
You had your hand up. Yeah, it's up right now.
You said that one of the rules you follow is follow the fun. What other UCB rules do you try to incorporate into the show?
What other UCB rules do you incorporate into the show besides follow the fun?
Is that Amy Poehler? She's like testing
It's the UCB police.
Well, like, I just think, the UCB for like Amy and the rest of the founders sort of like did their own thing. They were at a theater in Chicago and decided to like break away and do their own thing because for whatever reasons, like, it wasn't working out, or they just like wanted to like take control, and I think that Alana and I definitely did that when we started the web series, and so we were inspired by that. But also, I don't know, my time, I'm trying to be involved at UCB as much as I can, but I'm not as much as I used to be. But it's an extremely supportive community and environment to sort of, it was kind of like grad school for me. And I think just on the show, we try to do that as well. So we try to use as many people from there that we can, and just sort of, we try to make the feeling you get when you work on the show very supportive and very fun.
Yeah, which it is. It is.
How much of every episode is improv?
How much of every episode is improv?
It's really, really scripted, as I said. So we do so many rounds of notes and scripts and all this, and then we get it to a place, and I think on set we shoot probably 3 or 4 pretty heavily scripted takes, and then let it be loose. And also when we're, especially with recurring characters, we're like, okay, put it in you, make it feel like it's yours. So you have the script, but put in your own words,
Right.
Unless it's like the wording is so
important
yeah.
to the story. You know, having worked in television for a really long time, there are some sets that you're on where they want it letter perfect. Like you can't change an and or an This is looser.
Yeah.
It's much looser, but not loose that you can be like, you know.
Well, Curb is like.
Well, Curb's completely improvised. That's
I
a
still
completely
want you to
different
send
thing.
me. I want to see one of those
Yeah,
outlines so
don't
bad.
tell Larry. He's not allowed.
I'm kidding. I was lying.
I just want to know if you can tell us anything about the movie you're writing with Alana.
What is the movie you're writing with
It.
Alana? You don't have to tell. You don't, if you want, you could tell or not.
Yeah, you know it. I can't tell much about it just because we're writing it. It's not for us to be in, which
It's
was
for me.
Susie plays twin sisters
Siamese
abroad,
twins.
stuck abroad. Yeah, we were writing a movie. We were trying to write a movie for us. Last year, and it was so hard to do it at the same time as the show. It was just like too hard because like we needed the stories for the show,
Right.
And we came up with this idea, and we just it kept coming up, and we're like, this is so funny. It's not for us at all, and we're not saying anything because it's for 2 really famous people, and they have a no idea. So it got to be good, before
Brad
we
and
send it to them.
Angelina.
Yeah, it is for Brad and Angelina. So, mum's the word.
Back there?
Whose idea was it to make Al Dente Dentist a real website?
I don't remember. That's just something we try to do all the time. Whenever a character has a thing, we try to make it real so that you can find it. And then we have an amazing production company that works with us called Jack's Media. They do Louie, they do Schumer, they do this new show Odd Mom Out and Younger. They do like a lot of cool stuff. And this one of our associate producers, Kelsey, just like jumps on it and then gets the URL for whatever it is and like buys it. And so then we own it, and then we pitch all these ideas to Comedy Central, and they're like, yeah. And yeah.
So what advice do you have for people going to art school, and also what was your favorite episode?
Okay.
What advice for people going to art school?
Yeah, are you in art school? What?
I'm going to RISD.
Oh.
RISD. She's going to RISD.
Well, I see. No, I would say, I didn't finish my application to RISD. Do you still have to draw a bunch of bicycles? Yeah. I was like, you can look at my work that I got, bitches, or I'm out.
Why bicycles?
Like RISD makes you draw 4 drawings or something, like do all this work for the application. I'm acting like doing work for an application is bullshit. But it was. I wanted my portfolio of work to be looked at and not whatever. I liked Baltimore, and I would say I'm so happy I went to art school, and we kind of use it as a joke sometimes on the show, but I don't know. Art school, I think you should really look at it as an opportunity to, like, you're there to create stuff. And whether you're going to be a painter or whether you're going to be a graphic designer, for 4 years you get to just make stuff, and you have deadlines, and you'll get used to making things and completing them and finishing them and having different bodies of work, and whether they suck or not, you'll develop a voice. And that's like the whole thing that Alana and I did after, and I think it really helped me when I found the thing I really wanted to do.
You get an opportunity for 4 years to color. So I think just how many more?
Yeah.
2 more questions.
What's your signature doodle? Like, if you were just like mindlessly like in class doing, what is one thing that you draw?
I draw these weird like busts, not like people's faces, and then like their shirt, and then I'll like cut it off here. So actually not the bust. It gets like cut off. So almost like people's faces with like a little dickie on. I don't know why. All the time, still.
Okay, 2 more. This lady?
What's like the hardest part of writing, creating, and starring in your own show?
Everything. Writing, I think.
Yeah, the writing. I mean, the shooting is the best thing.
Fun.
It's so fun.
It's fun.
I'm in a show with this woman. What? I mean, it's nuts. It's like crazy. Like this is also really surreal. But yeah. Wait, you asked what the hardest part was? Yeah, writing for sure, because
you're creating something out of nothing. Once you have it on the page, then it's all just logistics, and you find it and you refine it.
Yeah.
But when you're writing, it's like there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden there's this.
Yeah, and there's not like editing is.
I love editing.
So much easier because you're trimming and you have all the all the stuff, and then you're just moving it around. But yeah, when you have nothing, it's like I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a lot of times when
piece of shit.
when nothing's there, it's just there's nothing there.
Exactly.
This guy.
Would you ever consider doing an animated episode of Broad City since you can draw?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you consider doing an animated version of Broad City since she can draw?
Yeah, we've thought about it because when I did the web series, so I don't do, the opens are not me. The opens are Mike Perry, who you guys have to know. You have to buy all his books. They're much better than mine. And I knew Mike before, and then I couldn't do the opens and was so happy that he's so much better. And but in the web series, in the second season, the open is a little animation of my drawings. And I had my friend sort of make it move. And I loved it. And actually, when we originally pitched it, we pitched it to Adult Swim. And he was like, I would make this an animation. But we just didn't want to do that at the time. Yeah, we've thought about it. I don't know. It could be cool.
Maybe something different. Maybe not Broad City. Animation's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
all right, Emily's saying we're done. So, Emily, what are we doing now? And I just want to say for the person there who you know who he is, make sure you come up here.
I just first wanted to say we should of course first thank you guys. Let's thank Abbi and Susie for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for coming.